I wanted to do this video for such a long time. And I finally did. On a random summer day, me and the boys went on a trip to a little city called... We went because we had some stuff to do, and while we were there we went to a few vinyl shops. I was looking for Charlie's How I'm Feeling Now on vinyl and none of the stores had it, despite their websites telling me otherwise. I didn't know what album to buy as I was in a real shopping mood. As we were looking through records in one shop, I stumbled across the electronic section of the shop. I was just looking through all the records and I saw two albums that I was so surprised that they were even there. With my own two eyes, I was looking at Arca's self-titled and Kick 1. I was so shocked as I would have never guessed that a vinyl shop in Croatia would have such based picks. I immediately knew that I needed to pick up one or the other, but I couldn't decide, and ultimately after some time I chose. While we were in town, we also tried recording a street interview type video, but you're watching this instead, so you can guess how that went. But thank you to those that gave us an interview. And after a long ass day out, we all went home. And now you're probably wondering what record I picked up. Was it self-titled? It was self-titled. Arca's third studio album from 2017 titled Arca is art pop, glitch pop, post-industrial, ambient pop, IDM, deconstructed club, Latin electronic release. I'm writing this and recording without still listening to the album. I don't even know if I will even like this, as prior to me buying the album I never listened to an Arca song in my life. I knew that she made music and I also knew that she previously produced for Kanye and FK Twigs, but I never listened to her solo material. I picked up this album because I couldn't believe that her albums were in stock, and while I was deciding between self-titled and Kick 1, I read her album of the year genre descriptions, and when I saw all those genres, I knew I had to pick it up. So to answer the question if I spend my 40 euros on nothing, I just have to listen to the full album, and what better way to listen than on the very thing that I bought the album on. It's so fucking hot. Alright, so today we're gonna be listening to this shit right there. This fucking thing that I bought for 40 euros, by the way. We're gonna be listening to Arca. This is my first ever listen to any Arca music in general. I may have heard a song here and there, but I don't really know. I only know her because she produced on that Loud Kanye album, and she did some production for FK Twigs, and I think she helped Bjork? I think she helped Bjork. I don't fucking know. And Uzi. I think she also helped something with Uzi. All I know is that this album came out in 2017, I think. And that's basically it I know-ish about this album. So yeah, let's jump straight into it.
Piel.
The intro track is a very haunting opening to the album. Arca's vocals sound larger than life, and I think that's due to how spacious the production is on this track. The instrumental sounds like it's flowing and like it's alive. At points the instrumental can get a bit ear-piercing, which I don't really mind. Arca starts the track with humming, which the first time that I played the album scared the shit out of me. But fucking hell, that shit was creepy as hell. But around the 1 minute mark, we get our first taste of Arca's vocals. She really has an intimate style of singing. It feels personal, like she's only singing to you. The lyrics on this album are all sung in Spanish, but shout out to my boys from Genius, hey! For this video, Genius helped a lot, but it's still a shame that I can't figure out for the life of me what Arca is singing about. Now I think it's the perfect time to say that Arca didn't really write for this album. Almost every song is improvised and is off the top. But with that being said, some motifs from the intro track will appear later on the album, which shows that Arca, even though compromised the lyrics, she still tried to connect everything. This particular song is maybe about Arca's transitioning. She's taking her skin off from yesterday as she's literally transitioning into new skin. I say that because a year after this album came out, Arca actually came out as trans, so this song is maybe about that. Sorry to disappoint, but I have switched to PC. I know, kill me, whatever, I don't care. It's just easier, it's more convenient, and I think the sound is probably gonna be better. So yeah, we're gonna be continuing on track 2, Anocha. I'm fucking sorry for butchering this, I don't speak Spanish. So yeah, we have the translated lyrics here, and I mean, let's start.
Anoche.
The second song on this album is one of my favorite lyrically. Arca is, I think, comforting herself on this track as she thinks of the possible future and what it holds for her. She's thinking of a better version of herself, or just a version of herself in which she feels more comfortable living. At this point of her life, I guess she wasn't comfortable enough to come out as trans, so she had to keep her desire to transition to herself. She dreams of a future in which she feels comfortable in, and she hopes that it's possible to get to that point, but even if it's not, she feels to feel that that version of herself is even a possibility. But my dumbass thought that the song was talking about her love partner. And the lyrics, I don't fucking know what she's talking about, like about a person that may or may not exist, like a perfect person. I can't really know, I don't know. Also, the instrumental on this song is so good. The main piano melody stays throughout the entire track, but Arca just keeps adding more and more production elements on top of that main piano lead. Love how glitchy and almost incoherent the song gets later on.
Thunder.
This song is a real enigma to me as everything works in a way that I shouldn't like it. From the very beginning, the song sounds like it's building to something huge, and you would expect a huge drop on the song. I'm expecting a crazy drop on this, but it never drops. Like, the song keeps building and building, but nothing ultimately happens. At the end, Arca comes through with her ginormous vocal presence and sings about her transition. She is removing her skin from yesterday and is becoming what she dreamt about in the previous track. This song, in my opinion, serves as a little interlude for the album, which against all odds, in my opinion, works. I'm kind of fucking with this, I don't know, we'll see. Let's go into track 4. Urchin? I don't fucking know.
Urchin.
Arca is really just stunting on this song. Urchin is the first pure instrumental track on this album, and it's one of the best of its kind. Arca really showed just how delicate her production can get. The instrumental is ever evolving and constantly changing. It's almost like Arca was too scared to ruin the instrumental with her vocals because how good it is. And I'm not throwing shade at Arca because it would be hard for anyone to do this instrumental justice. On my first listen I was kinda caught off guard by the song as I was expecting some lyrics, but it's maybe better for this track to be just the instrumental. But it was a really great track. I think maybe my favorite so far. Didn't contain any Arca vocals, despite me fucking looking for them. Urchin feels like the cleanest mess that you have ever seen. Everything is everywhere, but at the same time, everything is somehow at the exact place where it needs to be. Now we go into track 5, Reverie, I don't fucking know.
Reverie.
I'm just gonna be upfront, this song is nuts. I can't even describe how great this song is production-wise. This sounds like a song that would be played at the beginning of a war scene in a movie. It's so aggressive, all over the place and hard-hitting. While I was listening to this song, I came to a little conclusion about a parallel. The production on this album really reminds me of FK Twigs' album Magdalene. I think it's really similar. Like, it sounds like glitchy, electronic, but like, it sounds grand but also grounded at the same time. I don't know if Arca has any production credits on that album. I'm gonna need to check, but I'm like 90% sure that she doesn't. I still stand by the fact that these two albums aren't that far from each other because they both capture a similar vibe in my opinion. But the funny thing about this song is that it was supposed to be the title track for this album. Yes, Arca's 2017 self-titled album was originally supposed to be called
Reverie,
but Arca ultimately decided to rename the album. Another fun fact about this song is that it was using Euphoria. The lyrics on this song are confusing as fuck. Arca interprets a folk song by Simon Diaz. I really don't know what Arca is trying to say with this song, but if I have to guess, it's maybe about self-love and learning all over again how to be comfortable with yourself. A really confusing song, but it definitely is one of the best on the whole album. Sonically, this song is brilliant and the lyrics are confusing as hell and make you think. This is another instrumental track, so let's just vibe with it.
Castración.
Someone get this bitch on a Peggy album, I swear to God. Castration is another great addition to this album. It's another instrumental track which some maybe will find boring because 2 songs ago we also had an instrumental track. But what if I told you that this one is even better? Castration really hits in that glitch pop, almost beat crush sound and has these fat synths and bass hits that sound so powerful and loud when compared to the other songs off of this album. At the start the song sounds kinda calm and smoothing in a weird way, but near the end it becomes a total fuckfest of sounds. Oh yeah, the drums are also distorted and crushed to death, which also gives them an even grittier sound. This is definitely one of the most abrasive songs on the whole album, and on my first listen I was tweaking listening to this. Next one is Sin Rumbo, and let's just jump into it.
Sin rumbo.
The first song on the album that I'm not very huge about. Like, I don't know, this is just a nothing burger in my opinion. The core of this instrumental is this ambient, almost drony part that gets interrupted by these glitchy sound effects that don't add anything worth of note. Arca's vocals on the track are some of her most personal sounding so far. She's really close to the microphone, which I found disturbing the first time that I listened to the song, and I even find it disturbing now. This is like a really unsettling song. Like this is like almost creepy, like borderline disturbing. Like Arca's vocals are really up close and personal. The beat is like warping in and out of itself. Like this is like a really, I'm gonna say that this is like a scary ass song. Like I'm low-key kind of disturbed right now. This song was also made pre-self-titled era of Arca's career, as it appeared on her 2016 mixtape Estranas. The only difference between the two versions is that the version that is on Estranas has an extended outro. And that's it. Lyrics-wise, this is another confusing ass song. Like, I think that it's about Arca seeing someone change in front of her eyes, but it can also be about her changing. It's so hard with these Arca songs, man. I'm really trying my best here. But next one is Coraje? I don't. I'm gonna give up, bro. I don't know.
Coraje.
I'm also not a huge fan of this song. I don't know what it is, but the production really took a big hit on these two latest tracks. This instrumental sounds huge and grand. It reminds me of something from Aphex Twin's second album, but this instrumental doesn't have any real or interesting progression to it. Also, Arca's vocals are very unique on this song. Once she hits that one register, we all know which one I'm talking about, the song just becomes so goofy to me. On my first listen, I was so caught off guard by her vocals on this track. What the fuck, that came out of fucking nowhere, what the hell? I really can't take her vocals on this song seriously at all, and that's maybe my fault, but like, it is what it is, I just can't. The lyrics are maybe the most straightforward that they have been so far. I'm like 85% sure that this song is about a fading relationship between Arca and her partner at the time. But who knows, maybe it also has a secret meaning about Arca's fucking, I don't know, lawnmower or some shit, I don't fucking know. It's really hard to decipher these songs as Arca didn't really plan the lyrics as she literally freestyled this whole album, so forgive me if I can't figure out what she's trying to say. And yeah, let's hop into it. Maybe it's about a car.
Whip.
I don't understand this. Like, I was very quick to realize what this song is about, like... it's not about a car, it's about an actual, like, whip, like... This whole track consists of whipping noises that are chopped up in a way to sound like a beat, and underneath all the whip noises, Arca adds some more production elements. I don't even know why this song exists. Why is it here? What does it represent? How does it push the story of the album? Like, I don't know. Probably the worst song here, and if anyone has some more information about this song, please leave it in the comments. It's not gonna make me like the song more, but it will definitely make me appreciate it more. As it stands, Whip is a really creative song that sounds like shit. Next song is Desafio. I don't know, but let's jump into it.
Desafío.
Finally, we are back from the 3-track run. Desafio is a great return to form for this tracklist. It's a surprisingly bouncy song and is one of the more energetic cuts off of this record. The song's subject matter is Arca's desire for wanting both genuine connection and just casual sex. It's low-key freaky. It's a bit repetitive lyrically, but Arca's vocals and instrumental definitely make up for it big time. The first time that I heard this song, I definitely thought that it was about something else. I still like, again, I don't know what the fuck this song is about, like, I feel you inside me, look how I burst inside, like, what the fuck, like, ready or not, I don't know. I'm getting a strange feeling that this song is about, like, motherhood, whatever, I don't really know. But I mean, can you even blame me for this? These songs are potentially about 3 different things while simultaneously being about absolutely nothing. It's a real skill to do this, and Arca is very capable of it. Desafio is another great track off of this album that you can even maybe listen outside of the album listening experience. Next song is called Fugacious.
Fugaces.
Another really solid track, and also another track that is fairly straightforward. The song's main theme is loneliness. Arca is trying to forget the memory she had with her previous partner. That way she could finally move on and escape her melancholic state. I really like the lyrics on here, and if I would to guess, I don't think that this song was improvised. The production here is stellar, as Arca really cooked up a great instrumental for this one. It just keeps building and building. You always think that the song is at its peak, but no, Arca hits you with another production element. This is a great example of Arca's genius when it comes to production and also writing. Next song, and I think the last song with actual lyrics on it, it's called Miel. I'm like 90% sure I said that name right.
Miel.
And we're back with the misses. Look, I really don't have anything interesting to say about this track. Production wise, it's quite simple, lyrically it's cool, and vocally it's just not anything new. Arca is feeling lost without her partner as she doesn't know what to do with herself. It's cool that she's continuing these lyrical themes of a lost partner, but for this song it doesn't matter as it's quite boring. Look, I don't mind slow music at all. Some of my favorite artists make slow music, but this song just puts me to sleep. I'm just gonna let past Dado explain. Miel is another track that I can even now say I don't think I'm gonna like. Even upon like further listens, I don't think I'm gonna enjoy this track. I don't really like the lyrics. Like, I still don't know what they're fucking about, but I just don't like really connect with them. Like, there isn't anything here that like is moving me. And for the overall sound of the track, I think it's maybe even the worst so far. I don't know. I don't really like Miel, which is a shame, but I mean it is what it is. But the last song on this album is Child. It's an instrumental track, I'm assuming, because it's not listed here, and if I said the name wrong of this one, then I don't fucking know.
Child.
And we end things off on a low. Child is the last song on the album and is a pure instrumental track. And listen, I don't have a problem that it's a pure instrumental track, not at all. It's more that it just doesn't really move me. This is supposed to be the closer to this epic record that had amazing production, interesting vocals, and cryptic yet captivating lyrics. I don't buy it. Child is a huge letdown as it doesn't add any narratives and themes of this album. It leaves them as they are, and that's really it. I don't find the production on this track all that interesting, and it being a complete instrumental track, you know, it doesn't have anything else really going for it. Child is a huge disappointment to end this album on. It leaves things unanswered and leaves me utterly disappointed. Now that I've listened to Arca's self-titled album a bunch of times, I think I can safely answer the two most important questions. First being, did I actually like the album? And second, was it worth randomly buying it? Let's focus on the first question for now, and the short answer is yes. Nah, but for real, I like the overall album experience. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was really interesting. I always knew that Arca was a great producer, and because of this album I went and listened to some of her songs from other albums, and yeah, that bitch knows how to make a fire instrumental. The introduction of vocals and lyrics to her work was also interesting to see. I still don't know what this album is about as these lyrics are cryptic as fuck. Overall, the album was cool. I like how experimental it was and how out of the box it sounded, but unfortunately not everything on here worked for me. If you want to see my score for this album, go to my album of the year account. Link in the description. Now the real question. Was it worth buying it without listening to it? Well, of course it was. I had a blast exploring this album because of this, and who knows when I would have listened to this project if I hadn't randomly picked it up. It's such a cool experience to buy an album that you've never heard, as it's a big investment. I recommend everyone to do this at least once if you have the funds for it. Maybe you will just find your next favorite album or artist by doing it. And if you don't like what you bought, you at least help the artist by funding their next project by buying their physical media. Hope you enjoyed this little experiment that I ran with this, and I would like to end things off with fuck whip.